Hi everyone, it's Jean. I just wanted to stop by real quick because I finished my journal that was made out of magazine images. And this journal is all made from magazine images with the exception of a little bit of color that I put in it with some sari silk and some seam binding, but it's very minimal. And I also used some pieces of leftover paper bag that I had. And if you haven't seen my butterfly images, they are in this as well. So let me show you first the cover. So in the beginning, when I made the cover, I was just going to leave these flowers that I had shown you that I made, and I found some green cabinets, I think, to make the green leaves out of, but this was such a fun project. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out, being that I only used magazine images for the most part. So it just has another flower on the other side with butterflies on it, and that's what keeps it closed. It does need something to keep it closed because of the way that the binding is. It made the book expand a little bit. So the first thing that I made for this journal was a little bag, and it's reminiscent of a glassine bag, and it has one of the flowers on it with a butterfly. I trimmed some of the pages in this red and white strip. So this page is blank, so you can clip in here a photo or whatever you would like to add to this page. On some of the pages that were kind of big and blank, I just tore some pieces of the leftover paper bag and made little journaling spots. So you have a journaling spot there. Now, this was the page that I had made the belly band, so it has a flower and a butterfly too. And I chose these two images, which are kind of like some farmhouse images, and they have tea stain paper on the back. So those are your journaling cards, and they just fit right in here. I left this page alone and this page alone. That way, like I said, if you want to clip in any special notes, any photos, whatever you like to add to your journals. This is something I clipped in, and what it is just a little note pad with a couple pieces of paper that are tea stain papers, and I put them in with a clip so that you can write your secret notes in there. Again, some more of that red and white edging that I told you about. This size has a pocket, so here's where I use a little bit of the sari silk. This is just a 2-page. You just open it like this, and you get 2 little fancy spots for journaling. You don't have to go by those spots. You can put your thoughts on, the whole page if you want to. And then this just goes around it to add a little bit of color. One thing I find about, at least for the magazine that I chose, a lot of these colors are similar, so I needed to add a little something to kind of break that up. The red and white helped, but this orange seems to have done the trick. These are like little stamp shapes, And I just put a tiny bit of that orange on there just so they don't get lost inside this pocket I made. And the pocket is actually, let me see. I don't know if you can see it. I'll bring it up a little bit closer. It's actually a Rolodex card. So I covered this Rolodex card and put it in there. Here's our zebra page. And I put a little bit of the brown paper here. And then I looked through the magazine to find anything that would resemble, anything that would look or be framed photos or small squares that I could use. And then I added them on some of the journaling spots like they were stickers. So that's why those are there. This is the pocket page in the center, and I did 2 types of cards. They are, tags. They are stackable like that, so you get to see the orange again stick out a little bit. This is a big fat journaling card, and you can put this in any way you want. You do need to pin it in, and I think I just didn't have a pin handy, but paper clip it in. And that also has this young lady. Now, this page, I was looking at it a little bit, and I thought it would be okay to journal right over the majority of this, of course, except for her hair. But I thought maybe up here in this part, you could put maybe a list of things that you do for self-care or for calming, and I think that would be appropriate for that page. And again, you have this beautiful journaling card. It's really big. On the flip side here, I did make a bigger piece of the paper bag, and I used these 2 images as stickers. This was one of my favorite images out of all that I had, and I left this as a bookmark. So if you are only on page 1 or 2 and you want to bookmark how far you've journaled, you can do that. It's also blank on the back, so you can journal on it itself. Here's another bit of the red and white, and as well 2 framed images that I used as stickers, and one here, and another brown paper bag. On this page, I made a little square pocket. It was kind of an afterthought, and I put these 2 pretty journaling cards in there. Have lots of, they're blank on the back. Next page. This is a belly band. So actually these could go in here and then in the pocket, however you wanted to do it. But what I did with these is these were the scenery photos from California. So I cut each of those out and I made little postcards on them. Now I could have, and I probably should have done this, but I wasn't thinking at the moment, gone through the magazine and picked out images that look like stamps and then just hit them with my pinking shears and they would have looked like stamps. But I had some stamps available that I needed to use up, so I just put those on there. And of course, they're all Canadian stamps from my friends in Canada. Here's another page that I added some paper bag to, and I always like to do this fun doodling. So get that. And then we're here at the back page, and on this one I made another one of the Rolodex cards, and this really pretty, this was one of my favorite images out of the magazine, with the scarf, bunting, or actually I don't think it's a bunting, I think it's on the windows, and it's so pretty. They remind me of either scarves or very large tablecloths or napkins, but that's such a cute idea. So that one, and blank on the back so you can write all your goodies, and it just fits right into the, okay, don't make me a fibber here. It fits right into this little place. What's something's causing it not to want to go in. Okay. It was in there before. I think what it is the paper on the side, maybe holding it up. But we'll just leave it stick out a little bit for now because I can't get it to go all the way in. And then the back, of course, I put this little flower with the butterflies so that the seam binding can just come around and wrap around that. Kind of like a, you know, a catch-all thing. I don't know what you call them. But just wrap it around a little bit so that it stays together. So there is the paper bag journal. And I'll tell you just a little review of doing this. It was really fun to do. I definitely would choose a magazine in the future that has some more colors that brighten up the journal more, rather than relying on adding things to brighten it up. I also, like I said, instead of using the actual stamps on those little postcards I made, I would have probably cut those from the magazine itself. You usually can find all kinds of photographs and framed images in magazines. And then as far as the tags, I love them. They're very simple. I just kept them. I didn't decorate on top of them because I didn't want to create a whole bunch of bulk. And personally, I think it was a really great experience for me to make a journal completely out of a magazine. And I like the fact that I chose different sizes. So some of the pages are longer, some of the pages are shorter, but you get a really nice journal when you mix up the length of the pages, I think. And that's something that I really liked for this journal, because you can do, like this even, this was one of my favorite pages where I added the couch. It's light enough that you can write on over that if you're using a black pen. So I hope you all enjoyed this project and will try it and let me know what your thoughts are. And remember, the journal itself is all made out of magazine images. However, because the images are, you know, the papers in a magazine are very light, I had to use some cardstock to back the pages, and I believe I showed that in the previous video. So there you go. There's our magazine image journal, all complete and fabulous and ready to go. So the next thing that I want to do is I have some artistic things to share with you. And the artistic things are mixed media related. So I will be doing that next. After that, there we go. After that, I will probably at some point, I have 2 journals that I need to finish that I started with you. One is the paper bag journal, and the other one is my fabric journal. So I'm going to put those off just temporarily, and then once I get those done, or once I start working on them, I'll do a part A and a part B and things like that, like I did with this one. So I hope you all found this interesting. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.